civilization of Japan is made up of multiple islands. The reason this geography is important is because all the water in between each island made the civilization very spread out, making it really have an independent culture, which plays a large role throughout its history. After the Yamato became in power, they made many changes. One of these changes was to create a feudal structure. So to do this, they had an emperor, as most great civilizations would, and he was the highest power. After him was the shogun, because at this time, like we covered, the clans were quite important. So every clan had a military leader named a shogun. The shogun basically led the military and was the most respected under the emperor of each clan. Daimyos were the nobles of the time, like in medieval Europe. They were the landowners. They were highly respected. Under them were the samurai, which were the noble warriors for each of the clans. So like the shogun, they were only respected within their clan, as opposed to the emperor, who was respected throughout all of Japan. Below the samurai, we have the ronin, who were, again, warriors, but they were paid. So basically they were mercenaries for each clan. So they didn't gain as much respect of the people or of their clan. And lastly, we have the peasants and the merchant level, which, because Japan is so isolated, the merchants weren't traveling as much, making them less vital to society.
Buddhism and Shinto were the most common religions in Japan during medieval times. During the Kamakura period, Buddhism was spread and divided. Shinto was a spiritual religion adopted from China. Buddhism was separated into three Buddhist sects. They were the Pure Land sect, the Nichiren sect, and the Zen sect. These sects rose due to social and political change. These were some of the most influential sects in Japan history. Some ideas of these sects were the decline of law, faith in Amida, which is a well-known Buddhist, and to meditate and live humbly, to gradually gain enlightenment and leave the cycle of life on earth. Shinto does not have a founder or a sacred script such as the Quran or the Bible. The Shinto gods are called kami, which are spirits that take form of concepts important to life, like mountains, trees, rivers, wind, and rain. There are no right or wrongs in this religion, and all humans are supposed to be fundamentally good. Then their wrongdoings are caused by evil spirits. It is only required to have faith in the kami.
There are many ancient artifacts in the medieval Japanese time period, but one of my favorite, and probably most popular, is the katana. The katana was an ancient weapon used back then, and it was used by many soldiers of that time period. The Japanese were always playing ahead in the technology department, and as you can see from this pot, it was made with very hard to construct materials, so they were very advanced for their time period. And one of the most amazing art pieces in medieval Japanese time period is the Great Wave, painted by artist Katsushiki Hakusai. It depicts the area around Mount Fuji under certain conditions, and the mountain itself appears in the background, as you can see here.
Some of the warriors were called shoguns, ronin, and samurais. After that, 90% of the population are peasants, and the peasants are fishermen and farmers. Then there are the craftsmen, who are also known as the artisans. After that are the merchants or tradesmen. The second to last class is the townspeople, and below that is the foreigners.
Medieval Japan was harshly governed by feudalism. Because of this, the artwork came from the lower two classes, the merchants and the artisans. Japanese art was painted with brushes rather than pen. They were also known for their pottery, which was known as the finest in the world at the time.
There are many conflicts in medieval Japan, most of them internal. Feudal lords would clash for territory and farmland. These lords had samurais who were elite soldiers, much like the knights of medieval Europe. Japanese history consists of many internal battles against other clans in Japan.
Out of the many clans on the Japanese island, there was one, a Yamato, who claimed that they were sons of the sun god and deserved to be respected and in complete power of all the clans. That caused a rivalry between all the clans for power.